Hey everybody, what's happening? Welcome to my Thursday Q&A. So every Thursday I make these videos where I answer your questions, so drop them in the comment section below. And next Thursday we'll answer as many as possible. We had a ton of questions this week, so unfortunately I had to cut a few out. I gave priority to new questions. There were a lot of them that I've answered in previous Q&A videos, so I'm sorry if your question didn't make the cut. But let's get into this. So Ryan Gonzalez, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, says, if a fan submitted video questions, would you feature them on your show if they were good questions / video quality / interesting settings? Absolutely, and the question is definitely more important than the video quality or the settings, as is the length of time that it takes someone to ask the question. If it goes on for like more than like 30 seconds, it's going to be really hard for me to incorporate that because I am under a time limit. So yeah, if you have any video questions for me you want to be featured on my video next Thursday, email them to me at intothemystery13@gmail.com, or you can upload them to something like Google Drive and send me a link or whatever, and I would be more than happy to do that. I think that would be really, really cool. This is like next level stuff, man. I dig it. Thank you for this incredible idea. So Benjamin Wakefield says, hey Jed, I got a question. Does your van ever get smelly? Yes. Sometimes I leave burritos or bananas or some kind of food in ends up in a nook and cranny somewhere and it smells, or sometimes my socks smell. That's about it. I'm not really a smelly guy. I just don't have body odor problems. I haven't worn deodorant for like a year. It doesn't matter what type I use, it always gives me like really bad rashes in my armpits. Like I've tried all different kinds, natural ones, everything, and nobody's ever complained about my smell. And nobody's ever given me a weird look. I'm really sensitive to like other people, so if they were offended by my odor, I would know. But no, I really don't. The only thing is like leaving food out. Food tends to smell really fast, especially in a hot ass van. And your second question is, what did you do before you got the fridge? Did you just buy food as you needed to eat it? Yeah, pretty much. It's hard enough to buy food for a single person, but when you don't have a fridge, it like becomes really hard. So you're kind of forced to eat out a lot and spend a lot of money that you don't really like have. I mean, if you have the money to spend, like, be my guest. But if you want to save money, you definitely want one of these bad boys. You definitely want a fridge. So I'm so grateful that I have that now. La Music Junkie, or LA Music Junkie, I'm not sure which it is, says, do you keep in touch with your family? Do they watch your YouTube videos? What do they feel about your lifestyle? Are you an indigo child / starseed? I talk to my mom quite a bit. My dad's kind of the silent type. He doesn't really talk much. He's just not a talkative person, so I don't talk to him that often. I don't know if they watch my YouTube channel or not. I send my mom a link every once in a while. I send her pictures a lot. She likes the pictures. I think they have their own lives, so they don't really have time to watch my videos or something. I don't know. Maybe they're just not really that into it. I don't really know how they feel about it. I guess they think it's cool. I tell them about cool stories from the road and stuff, and they seem to enjoy that. As far as the indigo-styled starseed, to me, as soon as you label yourself saying that you are something, that automatically means that you're not something. And I don't want to limit myself that way. I want to exist in the mystery and be limitless. And I don't want to be labeled or pigeonholed in some little freaking box, And I don't want to feel like it makes... This whole indigo child starseed... what's the other names for this kind of thing? It's a sketchy thing, man, because it could get real easy to trick yourself into like saying that you don't think you're better than other people. But I've seen some pretty wicked ego trips on people who think that they're like helping people and doing good light workers, that's the word I was looking for. They think that they're helping people and doing good things, but really they're just making an ass out of themselves and hurting people. But if it is a real thing, obviously there's people who are very helpful to other people too. So I just choose not to label myself as anything, especially something that's dangerous like that may make me feel like I'm better than other people. Ray S says, there's nothing wrong if you think you are, if you think I am. If you think I am, then I am to you, and that's perfectly okay with me. So Ray S says, do you believe in affirmations and use them regularly? Absolutely. I think that everything we say is an affirmation. We're constantly falling apart and rebuilding ourselves. I think that if you think about if you still believe like everything you believed like 10 years ago, then you're good at clutching on to things. But I think that we're just constantly falling apart and rebuilding ourselves. And I think the affirmations are every belief. It's everything we say about who we are. For instance, today a tsunami of allergies flooded the entire east coast of Central Florida, and there's pollen covering everything, including my sinuses and my lungs. And for a while, I felt sorry for myself because I was just felt terrible, like shit. But then I started telling myself, oh, you know what? My body's this incredible healing machine. I am capable of healing through any disease and any illness, and my body is just this incredible healing machine. And guess what? I felt fine after that. I'm also drinking some tea with ginger root and local raw honey and lemon, so I'm sure that's helping a little bit too, but I'm loving myself that way. No, everything's an affirmation, man. And you asked some of my favorites. Some of my favorites are, I am a powerful, confident person who is able to create anything I desire. And things like, I don't know, just everything's an affirmation. I'm trying to think of some other ones that I use regularly. Everything is okay exactly as it is. That's a huge one. I need that because I'm the kind of person who sees how things can be improved constantly, and I'm constantly trying to improve things. And sometimes I get caught up in that. And when I don't balance that with being just mindful and completely present and completely okay with where I am, then I start to get really stressed out. So I've got to balance the two. So I try to keep that I'm okay with where I am right now thing and balance the two. But yeah, man, everything's an affirmation. So I'm going to move on because we got a lot of questions. Penguin Chick says, yes, I received my stickers. Awesome. I'm so glad you like them. And your question is, what laptop do you have, and have you ever owned a reptile? My laptop is an Asus, and it is this one, and I love it, and it wasn't very expensive, but it does the job. My nose is itchy. Have I ever owned reptiles? Absolutely. When I was a kid, I used to breed them and collect them. My bedroom was mostly reptiles. I had my bed and a closet and a couple other things, and then the rest was reptile cages, as was the spare bedroom, was all reptile cages. I had alligators, tortoises, venomous snakes, pythons, boas, monitor lizards, you name it, man. I had all kinds. I did reptile shows, and I did some rescuing stuff too. So yeah, I've had a lot, all kinds. That's why I'm not really afraid of alligators or snakes. I love them. They don't concern me. Nose is very itchy today. Okay. Penguin Chick. California Van Man says, hey man, if you do the sailboat thing, what coast will you launch from? It's not if, it's a when. I'm definitely doing the sailboat thing. I have no idea what coast I'll launch from because I don't know where I'll be. I might be in California. I might be in Salem, Massachusetts. I might be in Florida somewhere. I might be in Australia and buy a boat there. I'm just really not sure yet. I can't see that far into the future. All I know is I'm going to have it. Is how or where is kind of up to fate or the universe or chance or whatever it is that is happening. Christina Coloradoian, I'm still not saying that right, am I? Says, I love you answer such wild questions. Thank you. I guess the next would be, why is the sky blue? Okay, the sky isn't blue. Your mind just exploded, man, right? So the sky is not blue. Blue, or the perception of shades of colors, is created in our brains. It's just different wavelengths that our brain converts into colors. It's not that dogs don't see colors, it's that dogs don't create colors in their brains like we do. So everything in our physical universe is just waves of energy, and our brain converts this energy into sounds and sights and physical sensations and smells. Things don't smell. Our brain picks up a certain frequency of energy and converts it into what we perceive as a smell. So the sky isn't blue. And there's no way to know if your blue is the exact same blue as my blue. So yeah. Anthony Davis says, are you planning on coming back to Oregon at all? Absolutely, dude. I miss Oregon a lot. Robert Phillips says, wow, I'm sad cows can't be cooler. This is in reference to the last question, which was, I thought, like my most epic answer of all time in last week's Q&A. So if you didn't catch that video, go back to it and at least watch the very last one. But I was really feeling good last week, so I think that was like a really good Q&A. Your question is, which apparently was a multi-million-dollar idea. Ooh, sorry about that, dude. Great question, though. Okay, so your question is, you've talked about sailing a few times. Have you ever gone sailing? Have you done any research on sailing? Okay, when I get into something, I'm obsessed about it. Like the last week has been all about photography. I'm just obsessed with it. That's all I do. And I obsessed about sailboats for like 3 months and just researched every facet I possibly could. But I've not actually been sailing yet. I've been on sailboats when they're on the dock, but I've never actually been sailing. Brahmin7 says, do you carry a pocket knife? Absolutely. This is a, what is this? This is Ontario Knife Co. Rat, and it's an amazing knife. I love this knife. I also have, I don't carry this one unless I'm like out in the bush, but this is a Sog Seal Pup Elite. I don't carry that one around unless I'm like out in the woods though. No Pro Go Pronto says, is your girlfriend over Australia? Oh God, what did I just do? I just moved everything around. Okay, here we go. Is your girlfriend over in Australia saving some of her money to get here to the States, or are you trying to save all of your money to get her here? What's the holdup? Okay, she's working 6-hour days, 12 hours a day right now. Yeah, 12-hour days, 6 days a week. And we believe in equality and balance and all the things like that go with that. So we're both going to put equal amounts into this. And the holdup is we both have some debts we want to pay off. And hers is much smaller than mine, but yeah, so we got to pay off the debts, and then we got to do the plane thing, which is going to be like, it looks like $1,500 to fly over here for a couple weeks. So that's kind of, we're trying to figure out how to do that. We're trying to figure out the visa thing too. Hella Danny says, I just noticed the Ableton sticker on your computer. What kind of music are you into making, and do you upload any of it anywhere? I'd love to check it out, man. Awesome video as always. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. You know what? I mostly play guitar, and it's mostly like metal or rock or blues or punk or kind of ambient, just like soulful. It's got to have soul, and it's got to have power, and it's got to be emotionally persuasive. That's what I do. I don't have much online. I have an old black metal project, but I don't think you'd want to hear that. It's really old and it's really bad. I don't really want to show anybody that unless you're really into black metal. Hit me up. You know what though? I pulled out my guitar the other day. I haven't really been playing since I've been on the road, but I pulled out my electric guitar the other day because I was going to clean it up to sell it, and I started jamming, and I came up with this rhythm, and then I came up with this like solo to go over it, and I've got this feeling for the solo. So I'm going to play a few more times, and I'm going to record it, and I'm going to make a music video out of it. So if you stick around, you will see it at some point. I'm going to try to make it like some kind of Van Halen related music video. I don't have a concept for the video yet, but I definitely have one for the guitar work. I just need to get my fingers back up to speed because I'm a little rusty. Okay, next question is from Mike Fanosh. I'm sorry, dude. Can you help me pronounce your name somehow? It says, what is your opinion on the overpopulation of humans and the amount of carbon monoxide we're producing by factory farming to feed our daily meat intake? Okay, overpopulation is not about space, because I have traveled all over the United States, and there are plenty of places where there's not a single human being for miles and miles and miles and miles. It's just endless wilderness, and I'm sure that exists in probably every country, except for maybe like Italy or something, but it's probably even like that there. So what it's about is resources. Do we have enough food and water to feed everybody? So factory farming, and some people are not going to like hearing this, but it's the truth as I understand it, so I'm going to say it. Factory farming uses more fresh water than almost anything else. They destroy the land. They release more carbon monoxide into the environment, and it's bad for our bodies. So factory farming is completely counterproductive to healthy humans, and you could argue happy humans too. So it takes like a ton, just massive amounts of water and food to feed these livestock animals, and then not only like all the things they have to do with tractors and trucks and stuff to get these livestock animals fed, but all the CO2 that they release is just incredible. I mean, your Suburban is doing like basically nothing to the environment, but your cheeseburger is like blowing holes in the frickin' ozone layer right now, basically. So, well, that's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. I forget what the name of the documentary is. This is where I got all of this information, is from one documentary. So if this documentary is wrong, then I'm full of crap. So if somebody can prove to me that I'm full of crap, I would absolutely love to know that. So please prove me wrong if you can. But that's the way I understand it. And if you remember the name of this documentary, I think it was like Cowpocalypse or something. Please let me know in the comment section so other people can find it if they are interested in that. So moving on, Thurdsay bitches says, stoked on your vlog. Thanks, dude. Keep up the good work of my PMA. What does PMA mean? I don't know that one yet. For next week, what is your vape setup and favorite juice? My vape setup is a Kanger K-Box and a Kanger Sub-Tank Mini, and I make my own juice. I use Loran super concentrated flavors, and they're not that good, but they're not that bad. Urbanite says, I was wondering what your mod setup is. That's the one, and if I've had any trouble charging on the road. Absolutely not. I have the spare battery, and I just charge up my, I use this to charge my batteries, and that's it. Easy brazy. Fred Lucy says, how much money do you say you spend on an average day with all your expenses, including gas and food? That's impossible for me to say because some days I don't spend any money at all. I think I went like a week and a half without spending a single penny. And other days I spend $60 on gas if I'm driving all day, and then I probably stop to eat somewhere because I'm driving all day and I don't want to take the time to cook. The next question comes from Brenda Ruthford. She says, years ago I have what I now know is called an awakening. Everything I thought I knew was turned upside down. It has taken me years to sort it out. It seems you are awake, and I wonder if you are what's called an indie child that comes here more awake and is able to process life on a more even scale. I hear you talk about what is amazing to hear and how mature you are. Do you understand what I'm saying? Namaste, my friend. Absolutely, I understand what you're saying. Once again, I don't want to label myself, and I think that I went through this enormous awakening, shake-up, shedding of old skin, old beliefs that no longer fit. The day before my 27th birthday, and I'm 29 now, so it's been 2 years. Before that, I was mostly depressed and anxious and just running around in circles in my head all the time and stressed out. And I think that, I don't know, I always knew something was wrong and there was some other way, because I was on the verge of suicide when I was a teenager a lot. And I just always knew there was something more that I would figure out later. God, my nose itches so bad. So I don't think that I came into this thing being who I am. I think that I had to like be dragged through hell for a few years until I was able to see heaven. So yeah, there's that. And once again, I just don't want to label myself. I don't like labeling myself with anything. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you found any of this entertaining, inspiring, or helpful, or anything good, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe and drop your questions down for next week. So love yourself. Woo!